What's up guys, VirtuallyChris here. In today's video we're going to be comparing the Varla Eagle One to like the birds and lifts, those scooters that you can rent out in the city. Let's do some cost analysis on these things and see actually how much sense it makes to buy your own electric scooter. Alright, we found them. Right away I'm looking at the condition of this scooter and I mean, yeah, it's not too great. It has a lot of scuffs, a lot of scratches. It looks like it's been hit several times. Just look up here, and yeah, even these aren't doing too well. You know, versus my own scooter. I guess that's why you get your own electric scooter. It only has one brake, so definitely make sure this works before you use it. I have a close friend who rented one of these out and found out the brakes weren't working when he was going down a hill and had to bail, and that was pretty rough. So another thing I'm noticing is they don't have any suspension. This one might have a little bit of front suspension, definitely no rear suspension though. But yeah, they all have pretty much no suspension, which kind of sucks for these roads. They're not the best. The Link scooter's interesting. Much wider handlebars here. Are these two different brakes? Seems like two different brakes, which seems like the best so far. And it does look like it has some front suspension, probably no rear suspension. If I were going to pick any of them, I'd probably pick this one, but I think most people go for the birds, so that's what we're going to be riding today. This is already a problem. I'm looking at the map, I see the ones that are here, but one of them has extremely low battery. I don't know which one it is. Let's see how this goes. There's a huge delay in acceleration. Very big delay in acceleration. And look how bumpy it is. This looks ridiculous. Looks like I'm doing a meme filter. So some things I don't like immediately after using this. I've been riding around town with it and it's just not the same experience. It's not a luxury feeling experience. Not having the shocks is a big negative. That's a big ding on this thing. Not to mention the acceleration is extremely slow. You have to kick off to start like quite a bit. Whereas on the Varla you just, you know, can press the accelerator and go. Feels like you have a lot more freedom on that scooter. This one really is limiting you in like the city limits. All right, well, I used a bird for 8 minutes. Cost me almost $5. Now it's time to ride the Varla. Now some key differences here. You can see much wider handlebars, which makes it a lot easier to control how much you're turning. These also have a limit to how much they can turn. They can only turn this much or this much. The Varla can, you know, you could do massive turns with this thing. There's no limit there. Another thing I like, of course, the bell. The bell is really nice. Having your speedometer here, it's a lot easier to read than having it on this little screen. More area to put your feet, of course, too. And yeah, the tires, I believe these aren't air tires and these are, and it makes for a much smoother ride. Not to mention the suspension. As I said earlier, here's the suspension. No suspension on the birds. So right off the bat, I noticed it's much smoother on the Varla. All those bumps that I felt before on the birds and stuff, I don't feel at all with the Varla. Like it just glides right over them, which is great. Another thing that's awesome is there's more instant torque for the Varla. So you really do feel like you have a punch off the line. You can make quick maneuvers if you need to through city traffic. Which is great too. And yeah, the brakes just also seem more responsive compared to the bird. The bird, like you had to wait quite a while to get the brakes to start engaging, whereas these will engage right away. You also have two, which is a good backup. Now I did the math, and you basically need to own a Varla for 157 days if you're commuting for 20 minutes each day, 10 minutes back and forth on a bird to make it worth it, to pay off that return of investment. And that's pretty good. That's not much time to pay this off and then, you know, you own it outright and you're just saving money at that point. So it seems like a huge win to use a Varla in the city versus use those birds, especially if you can like park it at work and yeah, just bring it to your house, park it in your house. Super easy stuff. And yeah, it'll save a lot of money in the long run. Plus this is just a way better experience. It feels a lot more elevated off the road, a lot more detached from the road, and just more luxury feel, you could say. So you definitely recommend riding this in the city. It's a great time. As you can see, much smoother ride I'm holding the camera just like I was on the bird. Much better. Thanks for watching today's episode. If you enjoyed, leave a like. It helps out the channel. And I will see you all in the next Virtually Chris video. Bye. So much smoother.